Welcome back. Over the past 8 lessons, we have explored the incredible power and potential of artificial intelligence. We learned how to use it, how to build with it, how to automate with it, create content with it, and monetize it. But with great power comes great responsibility, and that is exactly what we will focus on today. In this lesson, we are going to explore AI ethics, safety, and bias. These are not abstract philosophical concerns. They are practical issues that affect real people, real businesses, and real society. Understanding them is essential for anyone who uses, builds, or deploys AI systems. Let us begin with bias, because it is one of the most immediate and visible problems in AI. Bias in AI occurs when a system produces unfair or discriminatory outcomes for certain groups of people. This is not usually intentional. It typically happens because the data used to train the AI reflects existing societal biases, and the AI learns and amplifies those biases. Here is a concrete and well-documented example. In 2018, researchers discovered that a major technology company AI recruiting tool was systematically downgrading resumes that contained the word women's, as in women's chess club or women's college. The system had been trained on resumes submitted to the company over a 10-year period, and since most of those resumes came from men, the system learned that male candidates were preferable. It penalized any signal associated with women. This was not programmed into the system. The AI discovered this pattern on its own from the training data. The company had to scrap the entire system. Another well-known case involved facial recognition systems. Researchers found that commercial facial recognition algorithms from major companies performed with near-perfect accuracy on lighter-skinned male faces but had error rates as high as 34% on darker-skinned female faces. The training data was overwhelmingly composed of lighter-skinned male faces, so the system simply had not learned to recognize other faces as well. In a law enforcement context, where facial recognition is used to identify suspects, this kind of bias can lead to false arrests and wrongful imprisonment of innocent people. Bias in AI is not limited to race and gender. It can affect any dimension where training data is unrepresentative. AI systems have been found to discriminate based on age, disability status, sexual orientation, socioeconomic background, and geographic location. The common thread is that the AI learns patterns from historical data, and historical data reflects historical inequalities. If past hiring decisions were biased, an AI trained on those decisions will replicate that bias. If past lending decisions were discriminatory, an AI trained on those decisions will continue that discrimination. The question is, how do we address this problem? There are several approaches, and they work best in combination. First, there is data auditing. Before training an AI system, the training data should be analyzed for representativeness. Does it include adequate examples from all relevant demographic groups? Are there historical patterns of bias in the data that need to be accounted for? Data auditing is time-consuming but essential. Second, there is algorithmic fairness. Researchers have developed mathematical definitions of fairness that can be built into AI systems. For example, one definition requires that a system produces equal accuracy across different demographic groups. Another requires that a system produces equal selection rates across groups. These definitions sometimes conflict with each other, which means choosing a fairness criterion involves value judgments, not just technical decisions. Third, there is ongoing monitoring. Even a system that is fair at launch can develop bias over time as it encounters new data and new use cases. Continuous monitoring for biased outcomes, with regular audits and adjustments, is necessary to maintain fairness. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, there is diversity among the people building AI systems. If the teams designing, training, and deploying AI are homogeneous, they will miss biases that affect people unlike themselves. Diverse teams are more likely to identify potential bias issues before they cause harm. This is not just a social value. It is a practical quality measure. Let us now turn to AI safety, which is a broad field concerned with ensuring that AI systems do not cause harm. Safety encompasses several distinct concerns. One is reliability. AI systems should work as intended and not fail in dangerous ways. An AI system controlling a self-driving car must not make errors that cause accidents. A medical AI must not misdiagnose patients. The challenge is that AI systems, particularly large language models, are probabilistic rather than deterministic. They do not always produce the same output for the same input, and they can fail in unpredictable ways. Another safety concern is robustness against adversarial attacks. Researchers have shown that making tiny, imperceptible changes to an image can cause an AI image recognition system to completely misclassify it. A stop sign with a few carefully placed stickers might be recognized as a speed limit sign by an autonomous vehicle. This vulnerability is a serious safety concern for any AI system that operates in the real world where adversaries might try to manipulate it. A third safety concern is alignment, which is the challenge of ensuring that an AI system goals match human intentions. This becomes increasingly important as AI systems become more capable and more autonomous. If you give an AI agent the goal of maximizing clicks on a website, it might achieve that goal by using clickbait, misinformation, or manipulation. The AI achieves its stated objective but in a way that violates human values. This is called the alignment problem, and it is one of the most active areas of AI research. A fourth safety concern is the potential for misuse. AI capabilities that are beneficial when used responsibly can be harmful when used maliciously. AI that can generate convincing text can be used to create misinformation at scale. AI that can generate realistic images can be used to create non-consensual explicit content or fake evidence. AI that can synthesize voices can be used for fraud and impersonation. The same technology that enables helpful applications also enables harmful ones, and addressing this requires both technical safeguards and policy responses. Let us talk about privacy, which sits at the intersection of ethics and safety. AI systems often require large amounts of personal data to function effectively. This creates tension between AI capabilities and individual privacy rights. When you use a free AI service, your conversations and data may be used to improve the system. This is usually disclosed in terms of service that few people read. The question is whether users truly understand and consent to how their data is being used. There are also concerns about data collection for AI training. Large language models are trained on text from the internet, which includes personal information that people have posted publicly. This information might be reproduced by the AI in response to queries, potentially exposing private details about individuals. Several lawsuits have been filed alleging that AI companies used copyrighted and personal data without proper consent. For businesses using AI, privacy considerations are not just ethical. They are legal. The European Union General Data Protection Regulation, known as GDPR, imposes strict requirements on how personal data is collected, processed, and stored. The California Consumer Privacy Act provides similar protections in California. Other jurisdictions are enacting their own privacy laws. Businesses that use AI must ensure compliance with all applicable privacy regulations, which can be complex when AI systems process data in ways that are difficult to explain or audit. Transparency and explainability are related ethical concerns. Many AI systems, particularly deep learning models, are black boxes. They produce outputs without explaining their reasoning. This is problematic in contexts where people have a right to understand decisions that affect them. If an AI rejects your loan application, denies you a job, or diagnoses you with a disease, you deserve to know why. Explainable AI, which aims to make AI decision-making processes understandable to humans, is an active and important area of research. The right to know when you are interacting with AI is another transparency issue. Should a chatbot be required to identify itself as a machine? Should AI-generated content be labeled as such? Should voice cloning require disclosure? Many ethicists and policymakers argue yes, and some jurisdictions are beginning to require it. China was among the first to require clear labeling of AI-generated content. The European Union AI Act includes transparency requirements. Being transparent about AI use is not just ethical. It is increasingly a legal obligation. Let us address the impact of AI on employment, which is both an ethical and economic concern. AI is automating tasks that previously required human workers. This creates efficiency and cost savings, but it also displaces jobs. A study by the World Economic Forum estimated that AI and automation could displace around 85 million jobs by 2025 while creating around 97 million new roles. The net effect is positive in terms of total jobs, but the transition is painful for individuals whose jobs are displaced. The ethical question is not whether AI should replace jobs. That ship has sailed. The question is how to manage the transition in a way that minimizes harm. This includes investing in retraining programs, providing social safety nets for displaced workers, and ensuring that the benefits of AI-driven productivity gains are shared broadly rather than concentrated among a small group. As an individual using AI, you have an ethical responsibility to consider the human impact of the automations you implement. There is also the question of accountability. When an AI system causes harm, who is responsible? Is it the company that built the AI? The company that deployed it? The person who configured it? The AI itself? Current legal frameworks generally hold humans and organizations accountable, not AI systems. But as AI becomes more autonomous, the lines of responsibility become blurred. If an AI agent makes a decision that causes financial harm to a client, and the agent was operating autonomously within parameters set by a service provider, who is liable? These questions do not yet have clear answers, and they will be the subject of legal and regulatory debate for years to come. Let us talk about some of the frameworks and regulations that are emerging to address AI ethics. The European Union AI Act, passed in 2024, is the most comprehensive AI regulation to date. It categorizes AI systems by risk level. Unacceptable risk systems, like social scoring and certain types of biometric identification, are banned. High-risk systems, like those used in education, employment, and law enforcement, face strict requirements including risk assessment, data quality standards, transparency, and human oversight. Limited risk systems face transparency requirements. Minimal risk systems face minimal requirements. This risk-based approach is likely to influence AI regulation worldwide. In the United States, regulation has been more fragmented. The federal government has issued executive orders on AI safety, and several agencies have released AI guidance for the sectors they regulate. Individual states are passing their own AI laws, particularly around privacy, facial recognition, and automated decision-making. Businesses operating in the U.S. need to track regulations at both federal and state levels. Other countries are taking their own approaches. China has implemented regulations specifically targeting generative AI, requiring content moderation and algorithm registration. The United Kingdom has proposed a principles-based approach rather than comprehensive legislation. India is developing AI governance frameworks focused on fairness and transparency. Anyone working with AI internationally needs to understand the regulatory landscape in each market they operate in. For practical purposes, let me offer some guidelines for using AI ethically in your own work. First, always be transparent about when you use AI and how. If you publish AI-generated content, consider disclosing it. If you use an AI chatbot for customer service, make sure it identifies itself. Second, regularly audit your AI outputs for bias. If you notice systematic differences in how your AI treats different groups, investigate and address the root cause. Third, protect user privacy. Do not feed personal or sensitive data into public AI models. Use enterprise or private deployments for sensitive information. Fourth, maintain human oversight for important decisions. AI should inform decisions, not make them autonomously in high-stakes contexts. Fifth, stay informed about regulations in your jurisdiction and industry. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. Let me also address what you as an individual can do to promote responsible AI. When you choose AI tools, prefer those from companies that take ethics seriously. Look for companies that publish transparency reports, conduct bias audits, and have clear ethics policies. When you build AI systems, build in safeguards from the start rather than adding them later. Test your systems with diverse users and diverse data. Document your decisions and your reasoning. Be honest about the limitations of your systems. And when you see AI being used in ways that are harmful or unethical, speak up. The field of AI ethics is evolving as rapidly as AI technology itself. New challenges are emerging constantly. Deepfakes and synthetic media raise questions about truth and trust. AI companions and relationships raise questions about emotional manipulation and dependency. AI in education raises questions about fairness and authenticity. AI in criminal justice raises questions about due process and human dignity. Each of these domains requires careful thought and responsible action. One concept that is gaining traction is responsible AI, which is a framework for developing and deploying AI in ways that are ethical, transparent, fair, and accountable. Many large organizations have established responsible AI teams and frameworks. These typically include principles like fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, safety, and social benefit. Adopting these principles in your own AI work, even if you are a solo practitioner or small business, helps ensure that your use of AI contributes positively to society. It is worth noting that ethical AI is not just about avoiding harm. It is also about actively doing good. AI has enormous potential to benefit humanity. It can improve healthcare outcomes, increase educational access, reduce environmental damage, and solve scientific problems that have eluded humans for decades. The goal of AI ethics is not to slow down AI development. It is to steer it in a direction that maximizes benefit and minimizes harm. This requires active engagement, not passive concern. Let me summarize what we have covered. AI bias occurs when systems produce unfair outcomes for certain groups, usually because training data reflects historical inequalities. Addressing bias requires data auditing, algorithmic fairness, ongoing monitoring, and diverse development teams. AI safety encompasses reliability, robustness against attacks, alignment with human values, and preventing misuse. Privacy concerns arise from the data-intensive nature of AI and are subject to increasing regulation. Transparency and explainability are essential when AI makes decisions that affect people. Employment impacts require thoughtful management of the transition. Accountability frameworks are still evolving. Regulations like the EU AI Act are shaping the legal landscape. As an individual, you can practice responsible AI by being transparent, auditing for bias, protecting privacy, maintaining human oversight, and staying informed about regulations. In our final lesson, we will look to the future. We will explore where AI is heading, what new capabilities are on the horizon, and what career opportunities exist in this rapidly evolving field. The ethical foundation we have built today will be essential context for understanding the future, because the decisions we make now about how to develop and deploy AI will shape that future for decades to come. For now, I encourage you to reflect on your own AI use and consider whether there are any changes you could make to use AI more ethically and responsibly. Small changes, multiplied across millions of users, can make a significant